We are coming to the end of our pumpkin harvesting season. And as you know, I plant a lot of pumpkins and I talk about pumpkins a lot. And we have grown over 1,000 pounds of pumpkins this year. And one question that I get a lot about pumpkins is how do you keep them from being destroyed by pests? If you're growing pumpkins organically, what do you do? Today I'm going to tell you. The main key to growing pumpkins is twofold. Yay, there are two keys to growing pumpkins. One of them is to plant them in the right season. If I were to plant pumpkins right now, even though I might technically have enough time left in my growing season to grow them, it's a bad time. The bugs are out, the heat is out, the humidity is out. All the vines that I have now are all dying back to the ground and look terrible. There's all kinds of bugs that are chewing what's left out here. And so this just isn't the right time. The trick to it is to plant early. That means you gotta be kind of on your game with your gardening. You've gotta get your pumpkins in the ground right after your last expected frost date. But it has to be far enough after your last expected frost date that the ground is warm. So it needs to be warm. And sometimes this might mean that you need to start transplants in your greenhouse and put them in the ground already sprouted. Because if it is too cool, they just don't want to grow, they don't want to come up. So start them after that last frost date when the ground is warm, but get them in as early as possible. And sometimes this means having a few extra pumpkin seeds around so you can plant in a few successive chances. Sometimes we plant 2 or 3 times before one of them is really the one that takes off. So get them in really early. The second key to successful pumpkin and winter squash growing is one that you'll hear me talk about with a lot of plants, and that is you need to plant the right varieties. If you plant the right varieties, you will have much better success. Now let me give you a quick example. I love blue Hubbard squash. I grew blue Hubbard squash successfully before, and golden Hubbard, beautiful, delicious, excellent squash. However, that one's got fire ants on it. However, when I tried growing Hubbard squash in Florida and lower Alabama, everything ate them. Everything ate them. Everything just came in and destroyed them. And I found out later that they're used as a bait. You put this bait out there so all your pests come and eat that instead of your favorite crops. So you put it near your other stuff because the pests will go to that one first. So I was basically planting pest magnets in our climate and it did not work well. These are a Seminole pumpkin. They're actually a mix of Seminole pumpkin with multiple different varieties that we've just let cross together, all in the same Cucurbita machata group. Where you are in the country or in the world is going to determine what varieties work well for you. So I recommend just planting a bunch of different varieties or talking to local gardeners and asking them what has done well for them, or looking historically and seeing what did well, or just planting a bunch of stuff and letting it cross and letting stuff die out, and whatever lives, save seeds from and plant that again. That's actually the easiest way to do it. But a little bit of knowledge about Florida will show you that the Seminole pumpkin and its cousins in the same Cucurbita machata group are very vigorous, and they have the ability to root very vigorously out of the vine. So let me show you that. Right here, this vine is starting to give up, but at these joints, they are capable of growing more roots. Roots will actually grow out of these joints into the ground and make the plant stronger. So as it runs along the vine runs along the ground, the roots grow in there. So if you get a vine borer, which is the most dreaded and worst of our pests, that comes in and drills the base of it, it will die from there up if it doesn't have roots on the nodes. This is why I always grow them on the ground and not on trellises. Yes, you can grow them on trellises, you can grow them up trees, you can grow them on your fence, but when I've done this in the past, sometimes what happens is a vine borer gets in down near the base, drills a hole in it, the rest of the vine dies. If I have them growing in the ground and they run along the ground and I weed eat in front of them and they just run across the grass, they keep rooting right through the sod into the ground, the beginning part of the vine can die. the middle part of the vine can die, but the ends of it will just keep running and making pumpkins. And this doesn't happen if you have a vine going up like this and the bottom gets killed. Think of it, roots, roots, roots. They're bulwarks of defense. So your 2 tricks to growing successfully pumpkins and summer squash is to, first of all, plant at the right time. Don't try to plant when the bugs are having their feast and breeding season. And second, plant varieties that like your climate. And there's a lot of ways to figure that out, as I've already shared. So those 2 things right there will take care of 90% of your problems. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. Be sure to check out my books and join us on our community where we're helping people plant food forests. I'll put a link to that below. We want to get 10 people to plant food forests by Halloween. We've got a challenge going on right now. If that sounds like you, you can join now, get the food forest course for free, and start posting pictures and working with other gardeners that are doing the same thing. Catch you next time, and until then, may your thumbs always be green. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done. Count your blessings, name them one by one. And it will surprise you what the Lord has done.